Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's session. We are very excited. We will be joined by a different school of study during each different session this week. And so we're going to be having a really exciting session looking at data science. And the session will be looking at unlocking the power of data science. So you've got a fantastic interactive session today, everybody. Now, just in case you're new to Zoom, the session will be recorded. It's nothing to worry about. And it's just so that we can send out a recording to all of you after the session. Now, you should be able to see a chat icon and you can start speaking to fellow participants. Maybe it'll be future classmates as well. And you should also be able to see a Q&A icon where you can start adding in your questions. And Nicosia and I will be answering those during the session typed. And then I will ask our academic colleagues that we have today the questions, and then we can have a Q&A at the end of the session. But I'll pass now over to the academics for today's session.
Okay, thank you very much and very welcome to the session. So my name is Mikola Gradowski and I'm program leader of MSc in Data Science program. So the session today will be about data science, unlocking the power of data. And the structure of the session, I will make a short introduction about the data science itself, about the course, about the program, and about the university. Then I will show you a couple of very basic models involving machine learning and data science, and then you will have time for questions. And I will be very much happy to answer your questions. So without further ado, let's start and let's talk about data science first. So why do we need data science? What's the point of data science? The main reason is that we live in a data world. Yes, we generate lots of data ourselves. Every action, every hour action creates information, from typing your phone or making a post in social media to paying using bank card or driving a car. Every day an enormous volumes of data is produced, and to use it, to make sense of it, we need data science. And lots of different companies, organizations, businesses, from finances to fundamental science, from government to medical service, rely on data to understand processes, patterns, predict trends, and make choices. So there is growing demand for data science everywhere. It's not just in math. It's not just in computing. So what is data science? Data science is, of course, mainly applied math. But essentially, if we are talking about sub-disciplines, we're talking about three main elements. First of all, it's math and statistics. Math and statistics are, of course, the basement of data science. The amounts of data we normally need to deal with are enormous. So we can't process data on the paper or in our brain. We need computer. So it's the second very important element is a computer science. And the third element people sometimes forget about is knowledge. It's knowing the domain. Yes. So to be a data scientist, you need to know the problem. You need to understand the problem you are solving. So the third very important element is business or domain knowledge. So what is inside data science? At its core, data science combines the power of math and computing, but it is applied to real life problems. So very importantly, data science is a real life science based on math, of course. Okay. Where data science can be applied? Almost anywhere. Anywhere where data can be used and data is important. It can be finance and healthcare, media, of course, it's retail and commerce, government, defense, engineering, sport, and politics, and of course, natural sciences. So the next question will be, who are data scientists? Who are the people who are actually, well, they're computer scientists and mathematicians and need to know the problems. So I personally really like this definition. Who are data scientists? People who better at statistics than any software engineer and better at software engineering or computing than any statistician. So that's about the data science. Now, why? What are the reasons to study data science in Hertfordshire? First, let's talk about the postgraduate studies in Hertfordshire. So, first of all, we're in top 50 universities in the UK, according to the Guardian University Guide, and taking into account the number of universities in Britain, of course, that's quite high. Okay. The main reason most of our students take on this course is, of course, employability boost. 96 of postgraduates in our universities are in work or further studies immediately or within short time after graduating. If you join the program, you will get real world experience. So I will discuss the structure of the program a bit later, but in addition to the main taught modules, we have guaranteed online internship, or it's quite competitive, but we also have placements with real employer for a year. Another one of the another attractive element, another attractive point of Hertz, of course, is infrastructure. In recent years, we had very significant investment in our facilities, and for instance, data science and the whole department, physics, astronomy, math, are now have a new home, Spectra building. We have links to a large number of employers, which means that people who decide to get a placement will have some support and advice about how to find them. The location of the university is one of the attractive points, in my opinion. Okay, we're just 25 minutes north of London. So some people may live in London, or some people may live in the south of England, and it's very easy commute. And we have lots of other services, from childcare to 20% discount for people who are university alumni. So if it's for people who did their first degree in Hertfordshire and they want to join the postgraduate program. So why choose specifically MSc in data science and Hertz? As I said, it's of course employment prospects. So our graduate work across wide range of industries, and based on my personal knowledge, people go to a range of industries, starting from NHS to financial services. Some people do social sciences, some people join the government. We have some industry connection. So we have relationships, links with approximately 15 companies, and some students actually benefit from these links when they look for a placement. We have, another reason is, of course, teaching excellent. We are consistently ranked very high by our students according to PTES survey and Pulse survey. Typically, the satisfaction rates in the modules, as a program leader, I have an access, and typically we get satisfaction of about 95% for the last couple of years. And I already mentioned outstanding facilities. From the lecture rooms to computer labs, and of course our new home, Spectra building. So now let's talk about in more detail about the structure of the course. So first of all, from the next year, from September, the name of our program will be Data Science, MSc in Data Science with Artificial Intelligence. The main reason for this is that many of our modules actually include significant elements of artificial intelligence. And when I'm talking about artificial intelligence, I'm not trying to say that we'll just teach you how to use AI, how to use ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot. No. The main focus is to teach students understanding of how artificial intelligence works and to create AI models. So several of our models, of course, they focus on specifically on machine learning concepts and tools behind what is called generative AI, like large language models. So in this program, it's about data science and elements of AI. And when we're talking about AI, it's about understanding how it works and being able to create AI yourself. So in our program, we have three main pathways. So the main pathways, the first main pathway will be 1 year full-time course. It typically it spans between 12 and 15 months. It's 3 teaching semesters. So semesters A and B are the same, 3 taught modules in each semester, and then during semester C there will be an 8-week research project, and as also an advanced module on data analytics with AI. Some students choose to go along the more advanced pathways. We have 2 more advanced pathways, 2-year courses. One of them is a 2-year full-time MSc in data science with professional placement. So what will happen for the first 2 semesters, semester A and B, again, all students will have the same 3 taught modules in each semester, but then students on the placement route will take a placement for at least 30 weeks with an actual employer somewhere in the UK. And when they complete the placement, they will come back, do the research project, and graduate with slightly more advanced degree. This pathway is quite competitive. Lots of students want to get a placement, of course. We do not guarantee the placement, but there is lots of support in finding the placement. We will advise you how to look for a placement, and we will advise you where to look for a placement. If student cannot find a placement for any reason, they will join another advanced route called MSc in data science with advanced research. So the structure of this route is the same for the first 2 semesters. So 3 taught modules in each semester. Then students in this route have a break. So basically they have proper vacation in the summer. And then for 3 more semesters, they will do a project, and they will do data analytics with AI, and they will do 2 advanced data science modules. Many students choose this route, even not because they can find a placement, but because they are specifically interested in advanced research route. Because one of the main benefits of this route is that by the end of the course, the student will have a data science portfolio, because in one of the modules focuses specifically on creating data science portfolio with GitHub on the GitHub, which of course also strengthens quite significantly a CV and helps with looking for a job in future. Okay. So I mentioned that for the first 2 semesters, all our students basically follow the same pathway. So during semester A, it's mainly basic modules focused on data science and applied math necessarily to study data science. We are fully conscious that many of our students come from non-science and non-engineering background. We have students coming from social sciences, political sciences, and medical sciences. Yeah, we fully understand this because, of course, data science is needed everywhere. So the first semester is to prepare students to study data science, and we aim at very wide range of backgrounds. We understand that someone can be proficient in computer programming, and some people have very little or almost no experience in programming. Semester B, it's three credit bearing modules, but they're much more advanced. The core module is, of course, machine learning and neural networks, and also students learn how to apply data science to real world projects, problems, and how to um, do data mining. Yes, to look for patterns, to look for interesting insights. And then the third semester, this will be the third semester for the advanced research route, and for 1 year route, students will do the research project. Now it will be in groups of 8 students. So students will come every week and they will work remotely as well. And for 8 weeks, they will work on some machine learning or AI project. And then they will at the end present their new model in class during online during in class viva. Parallel to this, there will be during the third semester there will be a data analytics with AI module, an advanced module focused specifically on how to use and how to understand the usage of artificial intelligence in solving data problems. And I mentioned that we have two advanced routes. One is a placement route and one is advanced research route, which run for longer. They run for 2 years. Another element which is relatively new, but we offer it to all students, so you don't need to be on placement route. And in fact, this is specifically aimed at 1 year route and advanced research route at students who do not take placement, is so-called Hertfordshire internships. The 100% online internships with some well-established companies, which means that students can work from comfort of their home parallel to their main study. Okay, these internships are guaranteed. So unlike very competitive placements, all students who want to take those internships, they can take them. The internships are offered in 18 different fields, and there are roughly 200,000, really large number of internships. And still, you gain a real world experience while basically following your main study pattern. Okay. And these internships were quite successful. So the outcomes are like 1 in 3 interns hired post program completion. Like a placement, it will look really good on your CV. So it will strengthen your CV, build your confidence, and will give you a taste of actually working in a proper company in data science. It's very study friendly. So it's only 15 hours per week over 8 weeks. And you can start building experience immediately. Although we normally recommend that students take this internship during second or third semester when they're familiar with basics of data science. Now, I understand that, well, the times are hard and money are always an issue. There are some ways to support funding your postgraduate study, like postgraduate loan. The UK government provides postgraduate loan, but this is mainly for home students, right? So if you are a home student, you may be eligible. So of course, before starting your application, I strongly recommend to discuss all financial aspects of your study. And there are also scholarships and bursaries available to students, not only home students, but also international students. So, as far as I remember, a large number of students, especially those who apply early, can get grants and bursaries. Typically, they're like £1,000 to £2,000, which works as a very significant discount to the fee. And as I said before, we have alumni discount for students who did their first degree in the University of Hertfordshire. So students who did their first degree, let's say bachelor's degree in the University of Hertfordshire, and they want to stay and join us on the master's program, they will get 20% discount. So how to apply? So before I go and demonstrate something, I want to I want to quickly mention how to apply for the program. So you need to check the entry requirements, of course, what is expected from you, what is the eligibility, and then prepare application. And at this stage, I strongly recommend, of course, to familiarize yourself with detail and including financial aspects and cost of living. Then you need to apply online and keep an eye on your email, and you will be informed as soon as possible. So, a vital part of your postgraduate application can be a personal statement. So if you need to apply, sometimes a personal statement will be expected from you. So we do not expect for something for an amazing essay, but what we want to know, what we need to know is your reasons for applying for the course, your past academic achievements, yes, your career aspirations and expectations, and your technical background, your work experience, and probably reasons for applying to Hertz. And for this particular program, we also need to know where you are in terms of your programming skills, of course, because for this program, programming is one of the things which are absolutely essential. So top tips for applying would be check entry requirements and financial aspects. Check the documents and don't put it off. So as I said, one of the reasons, so first of all, there may be some competition, and the early applicants may be given may be given some priority. But another thing, as I said, in some cases there might be grants and bursaries which work as discounts for early applicants. So thank you. That's the end of my first part of this session, my presentation. If you have any questions, please send me a mail after. Of course, you will be able to ask some questions at the end of the session, but if you have any questions today, later today, tomorrow, please send me an email. Yes, so my email is Gordowski at Hertz UK, and another person who looks after this program is Katerina Carvalho. She is a subject program leader. So at this point, what I want to do now, I want to show you some of the examples how data science works. What I will do, I will show you, I will demonstrate the work of two rather basic models, real life models. They're actually based on real data. And we will then be able to discuss what are the main benefits of data science and application to real life. And then we will finish and you will be able to ask some questions. So I will try to. Okay, just in case, I will reshare my screen just to ensure that what I'm sharing is what I want to share. Okay, so what I'm sharing now is small case study about salaries and expected salaries of staff in few companies somewhere in the city, as far as I understand. Um, so the whole sample just contains a large number of current salaries of some employees, as well as the salaries they realistically expect to get based on their opinion and their age. So the current distribution of salaries, for instance, very healthy, centered somewhere at 50, 60,000 pounds a year. Yeah, of course, there is a range, which depends on skills and experience of each candidate. What is interesting is that we can, for each person who took part in this exercise, we can link their current salary and their expected salary in the near future. And what you can see here, yes, so here are the basically data points showing the current salary of the staff in that companies, and each dot here is linked to another data point here, yes, which is their expected salary or new salary. So, unsurprisingly, as one would expect, everyone expects that the salary with time will increase, yes. But we clearly see that some people expect high increases in the next 5 or 10 years, but some people are much more moderate and expect very moderate increases. What was very interesting when I got this data and when I analyzed this data is that there is a very strong correlation between the age of the participant in this exercise and their salary expectation. So instead of this two-dimensional diagram, two-dimensional plot, we can create a three-dimensional scatter plot. Yeah, that's here. So as you may see, it looks almost identical to what we saw before. Okay, I'll try to stabilize this. Okay, so that's current salaries and that's expected salaries, and everyone expects salaries to grow with time. However, we can look at the distribution of current salaries and expected salaries depending on age. And if we sort of turn this data cube this way, okay, what we can see here is that the salary rise expectations depend very much on the age. So if we look at this particular age group, 20 to 30 to 40, the salary rise, the expected salary rise is much more significant. But if we look at age group like 40 to 60, the expectations of salary rise are much more moderate. I mean, of course, that's quite understandable. There are lots of social and economic reasons for this. First of all, many people in this age group already have reasonably high salaries. Yeah, and another thing is, of course, they're more familiar with salary distribution and typical salaries in this particular area. I think it was basically lower to mid management level in banking. So the whole point of this exercise was to study what are the salary expectations, what are the general career expectations for different people in one of the, I think it's in finance industry. And as you may see, even like using basics of data science, we can get very important information about what to expect from our staff when we hire them, depending on their age or basically experience. Another thing what I wanted to demonstrate is more about geography, and it's about London. What we can do is we can study London. The university is actually located close to London, as I said. So if this is a London map, and we will discuss this map in a second, we are located somewhere here, very close. And this looks very much like a map of London, but actually it's not map of London. This is location of all Airbnb hosts in London. And not unexpectedly, yes, unsurprisingly, the map of the distribution of Airbnb hosts in the city will follow basically the structure of the city. However, we can also use Airbnb distribution of hosts, and we can study the city itself. Why? Because along with the address of each Airbnb host, we can look at satisfaction and other metadata provided by host about their guests. One of them is, of course, satisfaction. So if we look at this map again, what we see here is well, it follows very much the map of London. However, what we can see is that there are basically gaps on the map, and if we interpret those gaps, we can interpret them in a way that, well, for some reason, Airbnb users do not normally stay in these areas, which means that these areas can be either really good areas, so maybe they're expensive and there are no Airbnbs, or people prefer not to stay them, or actually they are not the best areas. Yeah. Or maybe, well, there are not enough Airbnbs. But if we increase it, I'll try to enhance the size. Okay. But we can see, okay, well, I cannot increase the size, but we can see that there are pockets of Airbnb host with predominantly negative experience and predominantly positive experience. This is not really about the city itself, but I suspect that these areas with so there are dots, nearly yellow dots, with definitely positive sentiment polarity, and then normally located next to the main attractions where people like staying, for instance. So how's other sentiment polarity? This map is probably slightly better. Yes. And again, we can see that there is some polarization. Some people are unhappy. Some people are more happy about the places where stay. And again, we can explore the cities this way. And as far as I know, that some maps, some sort of interactive maps like Explorer, etc., they use this Airbnb, etc., and other sentiment polarity to study basically social and economic structure of large places like large towns and large cities. So again, we can see that even basic set of data, sometimes it can be publicly available set of data, has lots of power in getting very important insight. Right. That's everyone. That's everything I wanted to present. And we have about 20 minutes. So if you have any questions at all, you can ask your questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if this is possible, and I will be more than happy to answer questions. But of course, if you get any questions later, you can absolutely email me, and I will do my best to answer the questions later. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to reshare my slides. So yeah, absolutely everybody, if you have any questions at all, please do put those in the Q&A section and then we can start answering those live for you all. I can see that we have got a question in the Q&A section, which is fantastic. And so, bear with me one moment. I'll just get this up. So we've got an offer holder here, and they've said that I've got an offer for MSc Data Science. They've done some research and they've noticed on the website that the course is the only one without BCS accreditation. Is that correct? Is it an error on the website?
Okay, this is not incorrect. So the course is partially accredited with BCS, British Computer Society. Secondly, the course is expected to be accredited within the next academic year. And third thing is that um, the main focus of the course is not really computing, it's data science and applied mathematics. So, although we're looking for accreditation with British Computer Society, there was a specific reason why it was not accredited before. The focus is data science and real life application of applied math rather than computing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mikola. That does make sense. And yeah, really great question. So I have got another question for you here, Mikola. And someone said, with someone around 4 years of software engineering experience, would there be any advantages in terms of placements, internships, or opportunities?
In my opinion, yes, definitely yes. So internships and specifically placement, it's of course during the placement, student will get new knowledge and new experience. But the main advantage of placement is to get an experience in working for a real data science or computing company in real world and getting links, getting probably well it will look very good on in the CV. So yes, I would say definitely so. Yes, it's not about it's well getting new knowledge in placement is very important, but the main thing is it's getting basically experience and connections.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mikola. And that's, yeah, great advice as well. I've got another great question here. Thank you, everybody. So keep posting your questions. So, Nicola, a student said, what common mistakes do international students make whilst planning their career abroad, and how can this be avoided?
Sorry, could you is it a question in the chat?
It's a question in the Q&A section,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll read it again. It said, which
Yeah.
common mistakes do international students make whilst planning their careers abroad, and how can this be avoided?
I don't think there is a particular difference between career planning mistakes for international students or for home students. Um, I think the main thing is, of course, we need to have correct expectations, and that's the first thing. And the second thing, we need to know what the employers really want. And I'm not sure I mentioned this during my presentation. So the university has a career service. It's one thing, generally for students. Secondly, there are career lectures in this particular program, in this particular course. They're aimed at placement students who want to find placement, but they're open for all students, including students on 1 year route or advanced research route. So actually, we help with understanding the job market, and we help with understanding and enhancing career perspectives.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's a great answer and a really great question as well. Brilliant. We've got another question here. So, Michaela, someone said that they are an electronics student and they worked as a back-end developer for 2 years. can you suggest any technologies that you'd recommend for them to start learning, which will support them during their postgraduate studies with us?
Okay, okay, talking about technologies, I would say that what we teach is a software rather than hardware, which means that if student was a back-end developer, this will be from front-end to back-end, but the main focus of the course is the data science, machine learning, and AI. So we're not teaching students back end or front end. This is about understanding of core concepts and and being able to use those core concepts in front end or back end programming. So it's not about back end or front end. It's not about programming. We teach students why do they need to program and what do they need to program, not how do they need to program.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much, Nicola. Um, so keep posting your questions, everybody, in the Q&A section. Just whilst I'm waiting for a few more questions, I'll just ask some of our frequently asked questions that we do often get. So, Nicola, what are your top tips for new international students joining the School of Physics, Engineering and Computer Science?
What are the what? Sorry, it breaks a bit.
What are your top tips for new international students joining the School of Physics, Engineering and Computer Science?
The top tips. Okay. So first of all, there is a dedicated induction session. So when you join, don't worry that you will be left alone. Don't worry that you will be left to decide how to study and everything. So in addition to the academic support, you get lots of non-academic support. So the main top tip will be engage. Engage as much as you can, not only academically but also non-academically. Yes, talk to your fellow students, talk to us about non-academic matters, join us for all the inductions, and join the Students' Union, which can provide lots of help and advice independently from the university.
Fantastic. Great advice there. Thank you so much. And we're just still waiting for more questions from our participants. So I'll ask another frequently asked question. What are the main assessments methods used within the School of Physics, Engineering and Computer Science?
Right. So this course is of course master. It's taught, but it's master's course, which means that most of our students they know what they want, and they want to get some specialist knowledge close to real life. So we don't have any like undergraduate style exams in our course. All our assessments are basically a combination of coursework, essentially small or large projects which you do with at home or university. Of course we can provide we provide computing facilities, and you submit them online. And another element is so-called practical or test element. It can be small computer quizzes, or it can be a practical element, which is normally presentation or basically vivas, basically graded discussions with your tutors. So there are no exams. It's a combination of coursework and practical assignments.
Oh, brilliant. And that's, I think, really worth our offer holders being aware of the assessment methods as well. So thank you so much for that. We have had another question. This is a great one. What are the previous knowledge concepts required before starting the Masters in Data Science?
Okay, so in this program, as I said, we understand that data science is used anywhere and everywhere. Okay, it can be medical science, it can be political science, it can be social science, but it can be astrophysics or nuclear physics. And that is why, especially during the first semester, we aim to give, basically, we aim we focus on very different backgrounds. We understand that some of our students can be absolutely proficient in programming, and some of our students can struggle, can have very basic experience. So the expectation from us for students who join the program, we really want you to know, to understand basic math, basic calculus, very basic statistics. Although we'll have some recap, we'll have some revision of this in our core data science knowledge skills. It's an online module, not credit-bearing module, basically aimed at students who just need to improve their background knowledge. Another thing, we would really it would really help if you have some background in programming. We normally use Python programming, but any programming background would really help.
That's fantastic and great advice, and a really great question as well. It shows how organised you are. Um, I can see that has brought us to the end of the questions. So thank you everybody for all of the questions that you did post. And thank you so much, Mikola, for answering those so brilliantly as well. Now, everybody, this is us kind of ending the session now. So we're so excited to welcome you to the university in September. Remember, check out our website. There are lots of different scholarships available for international students, as Mikola mentioned earlier. So check those out on our website, and then you can have a look at the deadlines for all of those as well. You can contact us, obviously, by email, you can call us, and then you can contact us also by Instagram, Facebook, and X as well. So if you have any questions, you know how to contact us. But thank you so much to Mikola for this brilliant session. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Thank you very much and have a nice time of the day. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.